Let us go through some of the important details related to sequences. For almost all tables in relational databases, we define primary key constraints. Primary key is nothing but unique constraint with not null, and there can be only one primary key in any given table. Many times we might not have appropriate column in the table which can be used as primary key. In those scenarios, we will define a column which does not have any business relevant values, and this is called as surrogate key. Relational database technologies provide sequences to support these surrogate primary keys. In Postgres, we can define surrogate primary key for a given table as serial. Internally, it will create a sequence. We can also pre-create a sequence and use it to populate multiple tables. Even if we do not specify the column and value as part of the insert statement, a sequence generated number will be populated in that column as long as the column is defined as serial. Typically, the sequence generated number will be incremented by 1. We can change it by specifying a constant value using increment by. Here are some of the other properties that can be set for a sequence. Most of them are self-explanatory. Start with is primarily to set the value from which the sequence should be starting. Restart with is primarily to alter the sequence once it is created and used for a few days. If you want to change the beginning number to some other number than what it is currently, then you can use restart with. Min value and max value are the numbers which can be used to define the range for a sequence. Cache is a bit advanced topic. It is not relevant for the development purposes, and hence I am not getting into too many details with respect to cache. But in case if there are any performance related issues in generating some sequence numbers, we typically use cache. However, you can defer it for now. We can use functions such as nextval and curval to explicitly generate sequence numbers and also to get current sequence number in the current session. Nextval and curval are the functions which can be used to pass a sequence, and it will provide either the next number or the current number which is generated by the sequence. We might have to use restart with to reset the sequences after the underlying tables are populated with values in surrogate key. So we will see those details in a moment. Now let's perform some tasks to understand more about sequences. This will facilitate us to connect to the database. Now I am trying to drop the sequence if it exists. We will create a sequence which start with 101 with a minimum value 101 and a maximum value 1000. And also when it comes to increment by, we will try to increment by 100. This will take care of creating the sequence with all these properties. Now you can try to run select curval. Once the sequence is created, unless and until you generate a sequence number using nextval, you will not be able to use curval to get the current number. That's why it is failing here. Now you can run this nextval. It starts with the number which is defined as part of start with while creating the sequence. You can see it is 101, and hence the first sequence number that is generated is nothing but 101. Now you can use curval to get the current number. Now if you run nextval again, because increment by is 100, the next number that will be generated is nothing but 201. You can see it here. You can now run curval to get 201 again. Now if you run this again, it will get us 301, and if you run curval again, it will give us 301. Now if you want to change the beginning number to 101 and also increment by to 1 instead of 100, you can use alter sequence command like this. You can pass the sequence name and you can set all the properties what we have seen as part of the create sequence here. In this case, we are using only two properties. One is to increment by 1. Second one is to restart from 101. Now if we run this and if we say nextval of test sequence, again it started with 101. Now if you run this curval, it is giving us 101. However, if I run nextval, this time it is 102, not 201, because increment by is reset to 1, not 100. Now we can use select curval and we should be able to get the 102 here, because nextval have generated 102. That's why we are getting 102 when we use curval. Now we should be able to drop the sequence, as this is just a test sequence, to understand the syntax of creating a sequence using create sequence command, and also to alter the existing sequence to change the properties of the sequence. Now let's recreate the table users with a serial type. Automatically a sequence will be created. You can validate that by running this query. You can see there is a sequence by name users underscore user underscore id underscore sequence. It is nothing but the table name. Users is the table name, underscore column name on which sequence is defined because we have defined it as serial. The column name is nothing but user underscore id, and seq to represent sequence. Now you can run select nextval on this sequence. Typically it starts with 1, and you can run curval to get the current sequence ID. Now you can run this query. We inserted one record. Now we can actually run a query select star from users and see what is the value that is used to populate user ID. So when I say select star from users, it should return one record, with first name as Donald and last name as Duck. User ID is 2 because we have already used 1 earlier when we run nextval function on top of the sequence. That's why it started with 2. Now you can run this query to insert another record. If you run this select star from users, this time it will return 2 records, and you can see that user ID is 3 for the new record that is inserted. This will take care of inserting 3 records. You can get the current value for users user ID sequence, and you can actually see the data here. You can see the sequence generated numbers are nothing but 4, 5 and 6 because the increment by is by default 1. It is not a good idea to populate surrogate key fields by passing the values. Either we should specify sequence generated number or let database take care of populating the fields. So this is not a good practice. If you run this, then the sequence will not be adjusted accordingly. Now the maximum of user ID is 7. However, the curval of user ID sequence is still 6. Now if you try to insert a record into the table without user ID specified along with the value like this, it will fail because the sequence generated number will be 7. However, there is a record already in the table with 7 and hence it will fail. When you directly populate the fields with values like this, the underlying sequence will not be updated, and hence it is highly recommended to use either sequence explicitly or let database take care of incrementing the sequence and populate the surrogate key fields for us. We should not populate the surrogate key fields with hard-coded values like this. However, when we try to load the data from external sources, at times there might be values as part of the surrogate keys also, and we might end up loading the data into the table. In that scenario, either we have to reset the sequence to maximum of the surrogate key value plus 1, or we have to create a new sequence and associate that sequence with the surrogate key field. Let's see how we can take care of it. I am dropping the table users here. I am also dropping the sequence users underscore user ID underscore seq. Now serial will make sure user ID is populated using sequence, and primary key will enforce not null and unique constraints. So that's why we have serial and primary key for user ID. However, we are trying to insert the records into the table with user ID field specified with corresponding values. For this record, user ID is 1. For this record, user ID is 2. For this record, user ID is 3. For this one, 4. For this one, 5. Let me run this as well. So we have total 5 records. We can actually validate by saying select star from users. So the user ID maximum is 5. However, our sequence is still at 1 because we haven't used the sequence after creating it. And this is a very common practice of loading data from external tables or external sources into the table where there will be values for the surrogate key fields such as user ID in this case. You can validate the current value for the user ID sequence. It is nothing but 1. Now we can use alter sequence like this, and we should be able to reset the sequence to 5, which is nothing but our maximum value. Now we can say alter sequence user ID sequence restart with 5. Now you can run select curval. It is 1. However, once you run nextval, it will give us 5. As we got the 5, now going forward, whenever we try to populate the record into the table, it will increment by 1 automatically and use that value to populate into the user ID field. Let's run this curval. It is still 5. Now when we run this, the record is inserted without any issue. You can run this query and you can see that the curval is returning 6. You can also run this query select star from users to see the details with respect to all the user IDs. So the latest user ID is 6. You can drop the sequence like this with cascade, which is used to support the fields such as user ID which are defined as serial. Now going forward, you might have to insert the data explicitly specifying values related to user ID. However, instead of using alter, if you just want to drop the sequence and recreate the sequence, this is how you can recreate the sequence in this case. Make sure that you do not drop the sequences and leave like that. After that, you will not be able to insert the data into the table without specifying the surrogate key fields and corresponding values. So this is the example of dropping and adding the sequence with right values once the data is pre-populated into the table where the user ID field is loaded from the external data. So once the sequence is dropped, we can validate by running query against users. We can say max of user ID. We can get the maximum number, and then we have to increment by 1. We have to specify that value as part of the start with, and then we should be able to create the sequence like this. Now you can actually associate the sequence with the user's user ID field. Now the sequence will be used to populate this field. If you drop and create the sequence, if you do not alter sequence and associate with the column, it might not work. You might not be able to populate the fields such as user ID with sequence generated numbers. Once you created the sequence, after dropping it, you might have to alter the sequence to associate with the column which you want to populate using this sequence. You can also use this approach to associate the sequence with the column. So these two are alternative approaches. You can use either of them. And by default, we are saying that use the next value to actually determine the value that is supposed to be inserted into the table. So either we can run this query alone to associate the sequence with the column and also to take care of the default values using the sequence, or we have to run both. Just running this command will not suffice to populate the field with incremented values using sequence. Either we have to run both, or we can just run this one, which will take care of populating the column with sequence generated numbers. Now we can run this query and we can validate by saying select star from users. You can see that even though we haven't specified user ID column as part of the columns clause and corresponding value as part of the values clause, still the user ID is populated as 7 using the sequence which is created and associated with our column user ID. Now you can actually say select curval on this to ensure what is the current value with respect to the sequence, like this. Select curval and run this. You can see that current value is 7. This is all about sequences, which is very important for you to understand, because sequences are extensively used to populate the surrogate primary keys for most of the tables which are used by our web or mobile applications as part of the application development process. Even as part of the data engineering projects, we might have to deal with sequences, but it is not as common as we see with traditional web or mobile applications. In data engineering applications, sequences are not that important, but from the perspective of web or mobile application development, sequences are very important. You need to have a decent knowledge about the sequences.